Right, let's leave the motorbike show for a few moments and go to Frank Page and Sue Baker, who've been having a look, casting their eye over the new Fiat Uno.
Fiat have used the Italian word for one for their new small front-wheel drive hatchback, the Uno. This is the car that replaces the old 127. And this is a car which I don't think takes the market leaping forward, but it's a good state-of-the-art car. It uses a lot of the current motor industry thinking. But the emphasis right across the Uno range is on good fuel economy. And this particular model that I'm driving is the ES, which stands for energy saving. It has a 903cc pushrod engine, 45 brake horsepower, and a 5-speed gearbox. Now that used to be thought of as something you have on performance cars, but it's now increasingly seen on the economy models. The ES has devices on the dashboard to help you drive economically. There's a vacuum gauge, and as long as you stay in the green zone, you're driving at the right sort of economic rate. But the important thing is that economy, and this is the car that now sets the pace in that crucial zone of the government fuel figures, the 56 miles per hour steady cruising test. And this car will do 65.7 miles per gallon in that test, and that's now the one to beat. Well, I've been driving the special economy version. Frank Page has been looking at the other end of the Uno range and at the car with the biggest engine.
This is the 1.3-litre 70 brake horsepower version of the Uno, which is also the 5-door configuration. You can actually get the 5-door shape in all the 3 engine sizes, the 903cc, which Sue was driving, the 1.1 litres, which come in the middle of the range, and this 1.3. This is still an economical car in general use. You should get about 40 plus on it, but the accent really is much more on performance. Plus points in my book, well, a good interior space for the front seat passengers, though it's decidedly cramped in the rear if you have the seats all the way back. A sweet engine and gearbox combination, which is well muffled by the double bulkhead between the engine and passenger compartments, and a pretty good driving position with the main controls here you can reach with your fingers while your hands are still on the wheel. On the minus side, I find these seat cushions very short, and so they lack support for the thighs. I think they'd be very tiring on a long journey. And it seems very old-fashioned to me still to have a manual choke on a mass-market family car for the 80s. But I think the point that Fiat will really have to do something about is eliminating road roar and transmission noise. If you go over a cat's eye or a bump in the road or anything like that with this car, there's a decided degree of bump thump which really should be insulated out. And that's the point that puts it down against its competitors, cars like the Metro and the Fiesta, which are going to be upgraded this year, and the Polo, and of course the new Peugeot 205. Against those, I don't know that it's that far advanced that it's going to do tremendously well. It will sell well in Italy, but I don't really see it being the top seller in Europe that the 127, its predecessor, was 10 years ago.